I'm sad for my friend that thinks she's going crazy. And yet I resonate because of, look at the last 2 years for me. I think a lot has to be readjusted in our minds when we look at the world and all of a sudden it's not what we thought it was, and you've got to do something with all that information that you start to realize, shit, you know, I didn't know any of this existed. I didn't know about all this stuff, and then all of a sudden it comes into you, but it hasn't come into everybody that's around you, so you can't talk about it with anyone, and if you do, you sound like a mental person, and stuff happens, and the only advice you can give is like, this is the worst it's going to get, you know, this agonizing feeling that no one understands you, and that you can't be yourself, you can't speak your truth, you can't tell anyone what's going on. The worst it gets is this agonizing crap. All I want to be is me, and all I can't be is me. Until you find a way where you can do both, like allow other people to be where they're at, and help. Oh wow, really? Yeah. So we need to find a way where we're able to find people that we can speak our truth with, whilst keeping the space and remaining modest and understanding of where the rest of the clan is at, especially when they're family members that you love. You know what? Like, millions of people, I believe, are going to go through this over the next decade, and we have to be the ones to deal with our shit, you know, deal with our shit first, so that we're not scary to those who start to see it. The front runners to figure out what to do if the shit hits the fan, and we have time. And I wouldn't say that I'm there yet. It's not like, because I don't think that any of my experiences now, like, I accept them all now, but I took out other people's experiences from my reality and put them up in the thing. But my experiences, they have stayed. They stay. Other people's versions of what's going on are just up there for me to draw from if I need to. When I'm speaking to people who believe that, when I'm theorizing a new perspective that might be, you know, I can draw upon the knowledge from other people, their ideas, their theories, their perspective, what they believe. But we're always coming to our own and what's going to serve us. And I think, like, the big part of it is serving others. So it's what can help us serve others. What can help us serve others? And I even noticed that in the school this morning. It's not, how many years do parents do this? They drop off their kids like 15 years. There's all this stuff, you know, the karate and the swimming, and they dedicate, you know, 15 years of service to others. They don't even realise they're doing it. It's just like part of the plan, you know. This service to others is they give birth, and it's service. It's basically, you know, the ultimate gift of love. It's service to others for an extended period of time. So whilst we're going through our maddening, holy crap, what's going on with the world stuff, it could be very easy to lose sight of what we're here for and what's important, what's really important in our current movie screen. Getting ourselves stable is definitely high priority, because if you're not, everything goes out of control. Chaos, chaos, chaos. Your whole life spirals out of control. So we use our mainstream tech tools, and we use our knowing and what comes to us tools. And it looks like each of us go through our own, like, have our own shadows and traumas to deal with. Uniquely ours. Every awakening is uniquely your own. So you can draw from other people's, you know, like, a lot of them helped me. Seeing that guy explain his Kundalini awakening, that helped me. It all helped me in that moment. It's whatever you need in that moment to get that other perspective, to ease yourself into going, okay, I'm not crazy, something's really going on here. Now, what do I need to focus on? All the veils come down, and you're like, we're not schooled for it. We're not prepared for it. No one tells you this is going to happen. I think, even, across centuries, perhaps people's midlife crises and stuff like that are very similar. It could be all part of it. It could be the same thing. People's spiritual awakenings, people's religious awakenings, the born-again Christians, people who, find God, people who, for their unique perspective, had to go science way. They had to go, to the quantum physics, but it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. It's some kind of energy that or something beyond our current understanding, because we are just little ants, dots in the whole spectrum of the infinite of what's possible. And our mainstream schooling and our mainstream media and our mainstream education and whatever, our mainstream conversations, our mainstream jobs, our mainstream bills, all that kind of stuff does not prepare people for this. They prepare people to conform. So when you start having experiences that are outside of the norm, it's designed to that which doesn't conform to what we believe mainstream believes makes us wrong. And then when we feel wrong, our whole world tumbles down. And our need to be right is also an ego thing. We want to be right, and yet no one's prepared. So as everyone's going through their traumas, their dark night of the soul, their Kundalini awakenings, their spiritual awakenings, their religious awakenings, their traumas, their midlife crises, their God, I can't even think. They're all the same thing, but they're all uniquely our own journey, because we are of our unique path so far and the perspectives we've generated along the way to have this worldview of our worldview. And I guess we do whatever we go through, then we realize, hang on, where am I the problem in this? And we want to get back to the truth, because we realize we've been lied to, and we've been, even the media who are sensationalizing sex and looking the best and violence and terrorism and wars and all that kind of stuff. They're making it, they're trying to make it mainstream okay for these things to be, but it's not okay in our souls. None of this is okay in our souls. And so we're looking at this world, we're going, well, all this stuff is happening that shouldn't be happening. This is not right. This doesn't feel right. Why are kids starving? Why are wars happening? Why is the US in that country? Why is, these things that don't fit right with the truth of our soul, but mainstream make it all okay. And so our desire to harmonize with our surroundings, our inborn nature to want to serve others and please others and make people comfortable. We have this agreed movie screen, and they're changing the movie screen to make it okay for bad things in the world to be okay, for the things that go against our soul to be okay. Sex is one of them. All the disgusting stuff that is so mainstream now. It is normal for everybody, all the men especially, to watch porn. It is normal for them to watch porn, to watch other people who are supposed to be this divine, sacred, I think, our soul would say that, divine, sacred connection to life, and make it, sensationalize it, make it dirty, make it thing. But that fear that people feel when they watch these kind of things actually now turns them on. So anyway, that's a long discussion, but there's so much about this world that is not right with our souls. And it's not right, I'm not saying from Bible right, you know, like someone wrote a book or whatever. And I'm saying, like, from our instincts, you know, not something that we would, you know, someone told us in school with a whip and cane or whatever and said this is wrong and this is right and all that kind of stuff, especially if you go to those religious schools and you got brought up in those schools where, you know, you whacked on the knuckles or whatever if you did something outside of what they thought a book said was right or wrong. I'm saying from your soul, what does it feel right? What feels smooth and easy and nice and ethical and good and helping people and serving people and harmonizing with people and experiencing this life with people? What feels right in the soul? And I just see that, like, as people reach a certain stage in their life where either they just come to realize, holy crap, you know, they've heard something, the seeds have been planted over the time and something snaps and they realize, or they outwardly know something's not right and they seek and they start realizing, hang on, I'm not the only one that thinks this is wrong. These people, they resonate with me because they're saying the truth of what my soul is telling me is the truth. But then there's all this disinformation in the same areas, and you've got to use your discernment to go, okay, something's not right here. It's like, that's aligned, that's just off. Something feels off about what they're saying. Something feels wrong. I feel fear instead of love. I feel fear instead of ease. And I feel uncomfortable, but not in a uncomfortable, I need to do something, this is not right way, but uncomfortable as in something dodgy is going on. I would say September 11 would be one of those things that happened, and I'm sure the whole world was like, something doesn't add up here. Who benefits from this? You know, and it goes to, and then realizing that could our own governments be trying to orchestrate an army for them to get what they need, so that they get the sympathy of the people behind them as they be the terrorists. I mean, there's just so much that just does, there's all these little things that feel off in your knowing, in your direct connection to what you feel is right. And as we go through our days, there's so much we have to be okay with, even though we're not okay. I'm driving a car, I know I'm polluting the environment. I have to be okay with that, otherwise I'll just go crazy. There's so much, I go to work, I have to conform to this materialistic thing, and I have to do these announcements over the microphone to try and get people to buy stuff when my very being is like, stop doing this, people. This is, I can't say because you never know. But I'm like, there's so much that you have to go, okay, look, is that my fight or is that not my fight? Am I in a position where I am strong enough to do something about it from my space? No, I'm not. And work out what your fight is, and then gather your armies by finding those people that resonate and doing what you can in your space to align with your soul. But in that process, as you unravel all the lies that you've been told, plus you want to harmonize with that which you have already committed to, your family, your environment, you are committed to the people in that, you are wanting the best for them. I feel no words could describe the agonizing part of the start of that. Not even the start of it. That is not, it's like midway, you know, because at the start of it, it's exciting to realize, there's all these other different ways of looking at life and blah, blah, blah. And then you get angry with everything and like, how could we let this happen and all that kind of stuff. I think that starts when you're a child as well, though. Who didn't want to send their food scraps over to Africa? You know, who didn't want, like, you know, I don't want this. Can't we send it to a child that needs it? Can't we send it to a child that wants it, that can use it to live? How can we let this happen? That kind of thing. There's so many pieces of this puzzle. And the hardest thing is that we've got this mainstream conformity harmonizing thing, and we can't speak our truth, because we don't want to upset where people are at in their level of the game. And if their level of the game is trusting mainstream, then that's working for them, and they're only going to just keep you down from being able to explore more, because they also want you to belong to this family. They also want you to belong to, they don't want you to be separate from their space. It's very complicated, entangled soup, trying to navigate it once, if you're one of the ones that wake up before the rest of the people in your tribe wake up. And I just feel like if we're the ones that are doing it, then we're the ones that need to figure out what ways for other people to understand it when they go through it, because they will. Because as the information is shared on the internet now, more and more people have access to things. When they start questioning, they can start researching, and they can start realizing, well, okay, what's true to my soul? You know, what's not true to my soul? But there's so much disinformation out there. The system is, you can manipulate it to work for you, and they have. And so they're thousands of years ahead of us, and they know, you know, like, so we've just got this timeline to work with, the timeline that we're in and the experiences that we're going through, and we've got to get grounded and secure in ourselves, and then look for others who we can trust this information to, the information that we're getting. And then with those people, we come up with collaborative ideas to be able to help others who are coming after us. And I'm not saying that I'm ahead in any way. I'm not. I know what level I'm on in my thing. I could still go crashing back down. I don't know where I am in this game. But I just know that, okay, look, you know, from what I've gone through, this is what I'm going through now. This is how I dealt with it. This is how I am navigating it. I'm always looking for better ways to navigate it, to understand it, to get clarity. And I have that desire, I have that love for others, and I want to help them when they are going through their stuff. But I also want to keep that open-minded, not there yet perspective, so that I am not stuck in ego where I suddenly say this is the way and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to be there, because then I'll miss the other things that happen as you allow life to just teach you, as you allow life to be your teacher, and as you allow life to show you what you're ready for. And when I was pushing against and pushing and trying to just get all the information at once, I exploded, you know. My life just went into turmoil, because you can't rush this process. We're at where we're at, where everyone's at where they're at, and you've got to just be easy about it. But we don't know that because we don't have the skills. The struggle is real. I feel like, I'm sad for her right now, but I trust that it's exactly, this is what she needed, this is what she created, so that she can bring herself back to who she wants to be able to be of service to her tribe. And we don't always choose the way that it happens. It's life, or what we notice is, you know, what is going to trigger us to do it? What is it going to trigger us to do the work? You don't know what it's going to be. It could be like, for me, it was a random bit of fun, and everything went to shit. For somebody else, it could be, you know, noticing something that was written. Yeah, but anyway, I'm rambling now, aren't I? Yes, I'm rambling. I'm going to have a coffee and consult the I Ching. Bye.